recording. Welcome to the Team on the Run call for Wednesday, November 14th. I had to do a double take there. I'm like, what day is it? I see some new faces on here, which makes me super excited. Welcome. And I see some familiar faces on here too. So I am going to let Bridget take it away in a minute. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about Bridget. She lives in Minnesota. Are you in Woodbury? Woodbury, which is a suburb of the Twin Cities. She's got two little guys, little boys, a husband, Joe. And one thing I admire about Bridget is that she's always making time for her relationships with her boys and her husband. She has a mandatory date night once a month, and she's always doing cool and fun things with her boys, plus managing to kick ass with this job. And she just is amazing. Bridget and I met, 4 years ago, Bridget. And she eventually, I inherited her as my coach when her coach quit. And it was like I had been given an amazing gift in Bridget. And she is a soul sister from another mister for me. We have a ton in common, and it's just crazy that this world has brought us together on this team. She is I'm looking to make sure I don't leave any accolades out. She is a 2-star diamond, 2-star premier in 2015. And she is, which is amazing. If you guys don't know what a 2-star diamond is, it means that you have 2 personally sponsored diamonds on opposite legs, and 12 coaches, I believe, active. But she has got above and beyond that. That just is the rank. But she's got a lot more coaches and a lot more action happening on her team. One thing I think we need to note is this woman has hit 52 months straight in Success Club, which is incredible. I have not done the same. And I can say that most people have not done the same. So that's amazing. It shows her consistency and tenacity in her business. And I know that we have a ton to learn from Bridget. She is the leader of Team Believe, and she's amazing. So I'm going to just hand it over to her because I could talk about how awesome she is all day, but I'm going to let her show you herself.
All right. Am I good? Okay. Hey, you guys. I'm super excited to be the guest speaker, so thank you for giving me the opportunity, Jess. Jess and I kind of chatted about what I wanted to cover, and I just jotted down a lot of thoughts. And then I just kind of came up with the theme of treating your business like a coffee shop, because that's really how I approach my business. And so this talk tonight is going to be just a little bit more about mindset and kind of laying the foundation. During Megan's call a few weeks ago, she kind of gave you more of like action steps. And I know that we get so many different things thrown at us of like different things you can do in the business. And so this isn't going to be as much like action steps for you, but just really mindset with a little, action in there too. So just kind of gave you a little overview of my Beachbody background, but I want you to kind of go through my journey as a coach with me for a moment, just so you can hear. I started, it was July of 2014, and I knew that I wanted to come into this for the business. I didn't go through a challenge group. I never tried Shakeology. I didn't even know anything about Shakeology or a challenge group. I heard of P90X. It was when PIO was released, and so that's kind of what enticed me, because I was a runner and just kind of like a gym rat doing the same thing for years and years and years without results. And so I thought that was kind of an enticing program for me to start to kind of change things up. So when I came in for the business. Yes, I was going to help myself and get some results and learn more about nutrition, but I just knew that I was in it for the business. And so that's how the mindset started. I came into the business knowing that I was going to run a business, not, we'll see, for me. So maybe this can just help you think of like that mindset that I've continued to have. So first month, I think I hit Success Club 26. Honestly, I was so excited, you guys. I told everybody and their brother. But mind you, I do have a fitness background. And so people kind of knew that I was a trainer and a fitness instructor. I had already been talking about fitness on social media. And so I was kind of already doing it. I just wasn't getting paid. So this was a very easy segue for me to start the business. And so I really kind of kept that momentum up. I, like Jess said, I was able to get to diamond actually in 6 months. I just had a fire lit and I kind of understood the business and how it worked, and I wanted to keep plugging away. So I got to diamond in 6 months. My first full year is when I got to 2-star, and I actually hit Premier, and I didn't even know what it was, you guys. They called me to congratulate me, like corporate makes those calls, and I seriously was like, I don't even know what Premier is. Yay, this is awesome. And then they sent me a bunch of swag in the mail, and then off I went to the New Leader Conference. And so I started out fast and furious, but I want you to know that that's not always how it continued. Yes, I kept plugging away, and yes, I've never given up, but then I had a downfall. I call it the downfall, for a lack of a better term. I did have a diamond who quit. She quit, and so I lost 2-star. I had a lot of coaches who initially signed up with me, stop hitting success clubs, stop wanting to, run challenge groups and help people. And so they kind of turned, discounters. And so my whole organization kind of, crumbled a little bit. And so my last 2 years, you guys, have been all about rebuilding. And so when I walk you through this coffee shop analogy, I just want you to keep that in mind, that it was fast and furious, and it was strong, and it was awesome. And then it kind of went down, and then now I'm in that rebuilding and going back up. But I want you to know that that's what all businesses do, right? When we start a business, it's really super scary. We don't know if it's going to take off or if it's going to have, normal businesses. If you open your own coffee shop, just think of how much money you have to pour into that, you guys, and hours. So I want you to treat this business just like a coffee shop, because it's not always going to be easy. It's not always going to be super lucrative. You might have months where, you are struggling, but that's just any business. So here we are, peaks and valleys. That's how it's been since I've started, and I'm a fighter. And when I sign up to do something, I'm signing up to do something, and I'm going to stay doing something. And so when I said yes, I said yes. And that's kind of the mindset that I started with. When I opened the online fitness, I decided 2 things. A, I'm going to crush my own results. And B, I'm going to always invite. I'm going to always share my own journey, and I'm always going to run a challenge group. Those 2 things, I've never stopped. I've always been on a program, and I've never, ever stopped doing a program. Even if I ran a marathon during this, but I used strength days and PIO days. And so for the last 4 years, I've always told myself I will always have my results to show, even if they've gone backwards a little bit. And I got a little fluffy in the winter and I got a little off track. I was still going to share those and then recommit to going all in and getting some really good results, and to continue to talk about it, and always have a challenge group. That was my non-negotiable. So I had that mindset. That was my commitment when I started. I told my friends, I told my family, I built a dream board. It's right here. I can see it. I have a new car written off. I have cleaning lady on there. I have a yearly family trip on there. I had make $500 a month on there, make $500 a week on there, build a new deck. Which ones have I crossed off? Bought a new car, built a new deck, made $500 a month, make $500 a week. 1,000 a week is on there, and I've hit it, but I can't quite get it to stay. And so I'm going to keep going, because that's going to happen. I have 5-star elite on that board. That cleaning lady is so close. Okay, so that's my tip. Get a vision board and just give yourself some goals, and every day ask yourself, what am I actually doing to work towards that? Those things aren't going to magically happen, right? You have to show up every day. Involve your family. I have a supportive husband. He at first was kind of, what is this? So I had to put together a little business plan, and I was kind of ticked off. I was like, are you kidding me? I'm going to do a business plan? But he was like, no, every entrepreneur goes into business with a plan. I just want to see, what your thoughts are of like how much you're going to earn and what you're going to do and how much do you have to spend and that kind of thing. And so I put it together and I said, okay, Shakeology is $100 a month. I'm going to always earn at least $300 a month. And this is how. That means, 5 challenge packs and whatever. And so I had that always laid out of what that actually equated to, so that every month I could say that, yes, I was doing this. So I've never had a month where I've had to pay for my Shakeology. It's always covered, because from day one, I made that business plan. I got a space. I got a physical space. It was in the middle of our loft at first, but now I kind of moved to a little corner, but I had a space that I could actually call my work time. I feel like that's more productive than when I'm working in the kitchen, because then I get very distracted. So these are all things that I just bucket into mindset. Like, you're treating it as a business. It's just like a coffee shop. You would have that brick and mortar space to go to work every day. You would have business hours. You would tell your family and friends. I also involve my kiddos. I tell them, Mom's got to get on a call, because guess what? Know that trip that we go on every year? That's how I pay for it. So now they don't question it, and they're like, okay, and they go and they sit. My husband travels a lot, so if I have to be on a call when it's just me putting them to bed, they sit and they read, and they know to not come in and disturb me until I'm done, and then I'll go say goodnight to them, because I've tied it to something that they can understand that this relates to. We also sat down, and I let them pick out something that we would do when I would hit 4-star, 5-star, 7-star, 10-star, and that made it kind of fun. And so guess who keeps asking me, Mom, when are you going to get to 5-star? And guess what? That's going to bug me. Little kiddos that ask you when you're going to get there, right? So I better be working towards that so I can make that happen. So treat this business. My first whole point here is just mindset, getting the stage set up. Treat this like a business, because it is a legit business. And once we have those things set in place, we will treat it like a business. Go get that credit card. That's just Beachbody. All of your Beachbody expenses go to that own separate account, so you don't have to get it muddled with your family. It's super easy for taxes. Once you set it up like a business, it's a business. So that's kind of point one. Point two is confidence. As a new business owner, as that coffee shop owner, you went into it because you were confident you were going to be able to run a coffee shop, right? You don't open a business going, I'm not sure, no, you signed up. That meant like you were going to do this, right? You don't have to be good. You don't have to have a lot of experience yet, but you have to be confident that you can and that you will. And so that's just something I've always said from day one, that I can and I will, and that confidence has to be there. You have to fake it until you make it. People are going to come to your coffee shop if you kind of act like you know what you're doing, even if it's the first week that you're running the coffee shop. Same with your coach business. People are going to be attracted to you just because you're kind of faking it until you make it. You figure it out. You don't have the answer. You will come back to them, right, with that answer. And that's okay. You do not have to know everything.
I want a video call.
Say that you're going to hit Success Club every month, okay? And make that part of your confidence. I will. Like right now, I haven't even hit it for November, and I'm freaking out a little bit, but I just keep telling myself I will, because I'm doing the things that will get me there. Number 3 is do the hard, okay? Do the hard. Running a business is hard, you guys. There's things that you won't like to do, things that you're like, I don't really feel like it. But let's talk about what hard actually is, okay? I'm going to kind of scroll across here, all of your names. I see a lot of folks here that I know have gone through hard in your life. Okay, we have all gone through hard. You all know that I lost my mom to cancer when I was 21, and that lives with me every single day. That was hard. Watching her be so sick, and I had to care for her. and the things I had to do as a 21-year-old taking care of someone dying of cancer was so hard. Being told that she was gone, and I collapsed to the floor. Lowest moment of my entire life, okay? That was hard. Now, don't tell me inviting to have people join you to get healthy and fit is hard. Okay, I'm just putting it into perspective. It's a little tough love, but every day when I don't feel like doing something and I feel like it's hard, I kind of have to go there. Like, Bridget, you've been through hard. It's not that hard to send an invite out. You know, like we've all gone through hard. We've lost babies. We've lost houses. We've, you know, had divorces. We have some single moms. We have so much hard here. So we all know that gut-wrenching hard. So when you think about running a business and inviting people or posting that sweaty selfie that feels icky, it's not hard. Okay? So just every day, put yourself into some perspective of like, I can do hard things because guess what? I've got through cancer and I've gone through death and loss. It is not that hard for me to impact somebody's life by inviting them to join my challenge group or just to learn more info. That's really what it is. Would you like to learn more info? I got a boot camp starting in 2 weeks. I help other women work on their health and fitness. Would you like more info? So do the hard. Be all the way open in your coffee shop. That means inviting to challenge groups and inviting to the coach business. If that's what you want, be all the way open. When I realized that I could triple, you know, my salary by bringing in some coaches who also want to impact other people and working with them, partnering with them, helping them, I realized like, wow, this business model is pretty awesome. You know, like you get to actually help mentor people and help them build dreams and goals and wishes and cross those, you know, vision board things off. Like, that's pretty cool. So not only can I help people in health and fitness, but I can help women who are entrepreneurs crush their goals. And that you start to see the business model and how cool that is. So wouldn't you want to be all the way open instead of just halfway open where only some people can get to your coffee shop? All the way open means coaches and customers, okay? And figure out a routine that works for you. In our team, we do a daily 11 that Rachel and I just introduced. And it really just talks about the 11 things that it takes for you in your day to kind of crush the day. I won't pop over to my share screen because I'm going to kind of keep flying through here, but we just print it off. And this is something I can share with all of you, but it's just the 5 days of the week. And it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday written out, and it's complete workout. Check. Drink Shakeology. Check. Post to Facebook once or 2 times. Check. Recognize somebody. Check. Post to Instagram once or twice. Check. Post to Instagram stories 6 times plus a day. Check. 5 non-challenger follow-ups. So people that are not a challenger already, you're going to follow up. People that have said no, people that are thinking about it, people you've sent out share cards aren't responding. Then 5 new invites and connections. Okay, so those are 2 separate boxes. Read and listen to PD, 10 minutes, 1 chapter. Post in your team page or check the team page, and then check in with your challenge group. So it's just 11 steps. So my coaches can carry this around in their car if they're teachers or nurses or they're super busy. Mine's always in my bag, and I have 5 minutes. I go in here and I'm like, all right, I haven't done recognition. I'm going to recognize, and I check it off and I move on. And so find your routine, something that you can stick with that just makes it super easy and accountable so that you're doing the things to stay open in your coffee shop. You're doing the things. And then if you have any holes in your week, you can be super self-accountable. Like, oh my gosh, I don't invite very often. That's probably why I'm not, you know, having the numbers that I wanna in my success club, or this is not why I'm not doing whatever, because I can actually see the proof is in the data. You know, and we all are data driven based in so many other things, you know, especially if you're a teacher, like you'll love data. Our kids come home with like progress things that they need to do so that they can get certain test scores. It's all kind of like, what does your kiddo need to work on? Well, this is what we work on as coaches. So we can see what holes are there that we need to work on. So find your routine. It doesn't matter where you're at in the business or where you're at in your journey. We can all do this, right? We can be working on our health. We can plug into our business every day just for the 11 steps. And do the hard things first. If there's something that you really don't like the inviting, just rip off that Band-Aid and get it done with. And what I have found that I just wasn't doing it because it wasn't a routine. And so once you start doing it, it becomes more of a routine. And then those things are easy. The invites that you used to not like are now easy just because it's a routine. Just like your health journey. You weren't used to drinking Shakeology. You weren't used to 30-minute workouts at home, but now you've built that into your routine, and now it's kind of like brushing your teeth. So same with your daily non-negotiables. Number 3, don't be a lone ranger. I like this analogy. I always talk about don't be the lone ranger. I know that we're all independent coaches. We do our own thing, and that's what's awesome about this business is it can be whatever you want it to be. But coffee shops can't run with just the owner, right? They need employees. You need to have people to run the different stations to help the people that are coming in. And I know it's really easy to think that we can all do this alone, but we can't build a team if we're not part of a team. Okay, write that down. If we can't build a team if we're not part of a team, because we're not going to get the importance of team, right? So that just means checking into your team page once a day, being a leader in there and just commenting, maybe suggesting something, what works for you. You don't have to spend a lot of time. You might not have coaches on your own team, and that's okay, but you are a part of a team. So check in with your team every single day just for 2 seconds. Don't ghost your upline. I laugh about this sometimes because I'm like, y'all, I'm just here to help you. When I reach out, it's not because I'm, pressuring you or I want you to get to work or anything for my own purposes. It's because I'm committed, because I asked you to join me. And that meant I'm always going to be your leader. I'm not going anywhere. When I decided to be an Emerald coach, that meant my doors were open. I was a leader. I was building a team. And so I don't let my people down. I don't let them go. I show up for them. And so when I check in with you, and when Jess checks in with you, and whoever your upline is checks in with you, it's not because we're pressuring you guys, and we're not looking for people that we have to convince. It's because we love you and we care about you, and we just want to know that we want you to know that we're here for your goals, and that you can reach out to us. So I always feel icky, if I don't get responses after time, I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And then you start to go down that, I'm a bad leader hole. And then that's where you have to bring back the confidence and the personal development to be like, no, I am a good leader. But just know that we are here because we care about you and we want to help you. But sometimes we don't know what that is. And so do not ever be afraid to reach out and be like, and even if it's something dumb, I don't know why I can't do this, Bridget. Why can't I? And we will just have a one-on-one chat, because sometimes when I talk in my team page, I know I'm not addressing everybody individually, but I would like to know how I can help people individually. So lean into that upline. Get on Zooms like tonight when you can. We have the most amazing people in this community, and so lean into us. And when times get tough, you guys, you'll need this community. You'll need it more than ever. And so if you feel like you're part of a team, we are going to reach out to you when something's really tough and hard in your life, because we care about you, not because it has anything to do with the business, because we're your friend. So just realize that this is an awesome, awesome community that you'll want to plug into. Be self-aware is number 4. Be self-aware. This is always something that I feel like I'm pretty good at, is just to really call myself out when something's not working. I'll be like, gosh, what have I been doing wrong? I'm not building my team like I would like to, or I'm not, and it might take me a while to kind of figure out how to fix that, but I'm just a fixer by nature. That's kind of how I roll in life. If something bugs me, I'm really working hard to try to figure it out, to try to fix it. And so be really self-aware. Don't be like, well, I'm just not good at, this, be like, well, how can I become better at that? It's really an opportunity to just figure out, how's that coffee shop running? Is it doing well? Would you like to be better at it? Do you want more customers coming in? Do you want more employees coming in? What does that look like to you? Every year I pick a couple of things to focus on that I can be better at. So this year, for example, it was Instagram, building my team, and then my team culture. And those were kind of 3 things I just saw kind of like lacking on my part. So what have I done? I plugged into Amanda's Instagram calls when she did the 6 trainings this summer, super early in the morning. I set my alarm, I got up, I plugged into all 6 of them, one even on vacation, and I got to work. And I did every single tip that she shared on there. And I could talk about Instagram, but we won't have time for that. But I've built my page by like 4,500 now. And I think before I started, it was at like 1,000. And so every day I show up in Instagram and I do the things that I took from the training because it was something I knew I was lacking. Number 2, building my team, I just figured out how I need to be better at recruiting. And that was inviting more people, talking to more people on Instagram, posting it more on Instagram stories, having kind of a system of tracking people. So I use Streak now. I'll actually write down their names, what we talked about, and I'll put a follow-up reminder that'll say check in with so-and-so in a month. And I'll get an email popping into my email that reminds me to email that person. And so that is something that has helped me start to see progress in my team recruitment, because I've been trying to work hard at finding that new system. And then my team culture, it's still a work in progress, but I'm trying really hard. I'm trying to do a couple of team calls a month where we can plug into. We have our tracker, so we can all just kind of make sure that we're doing the right things and that nobody's kind of frustrated. And that we're checking in every day, and I'm still trying to figure out how to kind of make that better as we go along. But I feel like right now it's good. So just pick out those couple of things. Don't feel like you need to do it all, but pick out a couple of things that you can be better at and just start chipping away. Number 5 is just do you. What is the feel of your coffee shop? Who do you want to attract? It's going to be different. Jess's coffee shop is different than Carrie's, than Sarah's, than mine. When I post on Instagram, I really try to just focus on me, like not anybody else and what they're posting, not what other coaches are doing, but like, what am I about? So when you come to Instagram, you will get my vibe and you'll be like, wow, I can tell. The same things over and over. I can tell she is all about empowering other women to make changes, empowering other women to take care of themselves, because we take care of everybody and we do all the things, but we can do all the things better with less stress and anxiety and all of that if we have exercise and eating right into our routine. And so I'll talk a little bit about fashion. I'll talk about not taking life so seriously, smiling, things like that. It's just very uplifting. It's very motivating. So when you come to my page, it's definitely it's a vibe. So just think about, what is your vibe? What do you want people to feel or do when they come to your page? So I want people to add exercise into their life, to start treating themselves more kindly. Women, we're so hard on ourselves. So I talk about that. We need to really start give ourselves grace. So what is your vibe? Maybe you can jot down a couple notes. What do you want people to do or feel when they come to your Instagram? If you're not a foodie, don't post food pics. If you aren't, if something's not you, don't post about it. Do not talk about it. I talk about fashion. I'm a fashion gal. I'm kind of a foodie, so I try to have like really nice food pics, but it's always a shot with my pants in it, because I always tie what I have on into the food pics. So I'm trying to kind of make it funny. So just do you. Okay. You can go to other coaches that you might look up to for like ideas to spark something, but you never want to put their same content or their same kind of post or wording. Do you. Do personal development that speaks to you. I think I always like took books that other people recommended, and now I'm like, I kind of know what I need, and so do personal development that speaks to you, and talk about the life stage that you're in. So if you're pregnant, you're going to talk about pregnancy. If you just had a baby, you're going to talk about that. That is you. So you're going to talk about the stage of life that you're in, because you're going to attract those kind of people. I teach moms who are really busy that don't make time for themselves. I teach them to take time for themselves. Okay, so that's the stage I'm in. We're busy doing all the things. We got little kids, we got older kids, we work, we do the house stuff, we got husbands that are gone, we got sports, and there's no time for us. And so I will show you again and again that I take time for me, and I take time to go out with some friends, and I have a date with my husband, and I do those things because that's important. And if I didn't, I'd be a hot mess, right? And I am a hot mess a lot of times, but hotter mess. Number 6, don't compare. Do not compare. Okay, this really can derail you. So if somebody else who's working maybe just as hard as you think, goes up in rank, are you like, oh, why not me? It's okay. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just evoking some feelings. Or if you see someone that's like, oh my gosh, I just made my biggest paycheck, and you're like, oh, I want to make my biggest paycheck. I've been trying so hard. Okay, so what if you took that as, oh my gosh, I want to do that too. I'm going to message that person and be like, hey, I'm going to pick your brain. Do you mind if I ask you a couple questions? Because I want to do that. Or I feel like I've been doing the right things to get there, and you motivated me. Could we maybe have a chat? When I see Megan Ward hitting some of her milestones, I'm right behind her, and I'm messaging her, and I'm like, girl, talk to me, because I want to do that. So use others' successes to motivate you. Don't sideline yourself. Don't get out of the game. Like, you want to play in that game. You are giving yourself the bench time by doing that, right? Because we are all on the same team. So why wouldn't you want to be playing on the field? But you're taking yourself right out of that game by saying like, oh gosh, I wish that would have been me, or I, or she, what is she, instead use it as motivation. Be like, all right, I'm going to learn from her. What has she been doing? Because when I started to do that, it was a game changer. Lean in, get ideas. Don't let other successes derail you. Ask that person questions. If you feel like you're working really hard, go back to that being self-aware and just try to figure out, maybe I'm not quite doing something, and I can figure this out now, and recorrect yourself. And guys, it's the end of the year, right? So like, think about your coffee shop staying open. That's kind of how I want to end this. Think about how important it is right now to stay open, even though you might be getting a lot of no's. Like, this month has been horrible for me, no-wise. Like, share carts out there, crickets, ghosting. Like, people said yes, and I sent them a share cart, and they're like MIA. It's nuts. But I'm going to keep inviting, and I'm going to keep circling back with those people, creating FOMO that they're going to miss out. And I'm going to spread my feed with tips about how to survive the holidays, with free advice, clean eating tips, recipes on drinks that are healthier options. I'm going to rock my journey over the next 2 months. They're going to see a gal who's continuing to motivate them, to give them free advice, to show up, who's kicking ass and taking names. Because if they're not ready yet, guess who they're going to come to on January 1st? This one, okay? And this one, and this one, and this one, if you guys do the same thing. So don't give them a reason to go away, to not come to your coffee shop and go to somebody else's. Because what you do right now is setting yourself up for that coffee shop to be blowing up in January. and continuing into 2019. So I know it's a time of year where we're all like, it is so hard. People are saying, no, I got Thanksgiving to get ready for. I got my kids home. I got all these things going on. But guess what? Life is always going to be crazy in this business. You know, when I check in with people, how's it going? Well, oh my gosh, I'm so busy. I'm so busy. I'm like, oh my God, me too. Life is always busy. Like, it's the new normal. And so lean into your fitness. Your fitness, number one, lean into your fitness, because that's where this business starts. So be on your journey, right? Do not stop your programs during this time that's busy, because you're going to need it more. And then also plug into your business, because if you did, you are going to reap the benefits in 2019. You are going to give people a reason to be like, she never stopped. Like, do I wonder if she's doing this thing? If her coffee shop's open, you know, her online business, like, am I kind of giving her a reason to maybe think that she's not open for business? I'm going to go to another coach because they're posting a lot and I know they're running groups. So don't give them a reason, like not even a week or two closed for business. Like, we want you to be open every day. And that doesn't mean spending all this time. It just means doing that daily 11 checklist. I posted, I invited, I shared, you know, a free recipe. I checked into my team page. I did a little PD and I'm out. Like, if that's the bare minimum that you can do on a bad day, that's 30 minutes. Okay. So we fight for our health to keep showing up in our health journey, and we keep fighting to show up in our business, because a lot of things are going to take us away from it. Our kids are going to try to take us away from it. Our you know, bad, hard things are going to happen when we're coaching. But wouldn't it feel good if this business was up and running as a well-oiled machine and you were successful, that you could kind of step away for a few days and maybe had like a team member step in and help you, and you wouldn't skip a beat, okay? So we need that to be here. So that's why we're doing the work now, because something hard is probably going to happen when we're a coach, and we might have to ask a teammate to kind of step in and take over for a couple of days so we can go deal with this really hard thing. But we don't shut down for business. Like, our coffee shop needs to stay open. People need to know that your coffee shop's open, because if it's closed for 2 days, they're going to be like, I'm out. I'm not even sure. It's not trustworthy. It's not credible. It's not reliable. Is she still doing this thing? So stay open. Give yourself the mindset, the confidence. Don't compare. Lean into the team. Use other people's successes as momentum. And you guys, I look around who is here tonight, and I see the most amazing, kick-ass ladies who said yes to this for a reason. Okay, you said yes to this for a reason. You're all leaders. Believe it or not, you might not think you are, but you're a leader because you said yes. Okay, you stepped up to the plate. So don't let your confidence, your mindset, your fears talk you out of it, because you've got this. Okay, you just have to stay in the game, do the right things, and you're going to crush it. All right, if I believe in you, do you believe in yourself? Okay, I want you to say, I believe in myself. Okay, thank you for listening tonight.
Whew, I have like chills. That was just, thank you, Bridget. That was perfect.
Welcome.
Thank you. I just, that many years in Success Club shows that you're always open for business. And you are always, I love the way you started out, even just saying, crush your own results and keep sharing your journey and inviting. And of course, my dog's barking now. He hasn't been barking the whole time.
I know.
Gosh, but I mean, you are always a product of the product, and you are always consistent. And I think that is a huge secret to your success, and that confidence is huge too. And I just think we can all gain from that.
Well, and that goes hand in hand. When you're taking care of you, you are going to feel more confident. And I think the number one reason people maybe stop posting or stop sharing or stop inviting or stop running challenge groups is because we've fallen back on our health, and we've slipped and we don't feel good about ourselves. And we're like, I can't be a good coach. And that is, I totally get it. And it's happened to me too before. And so you just have to pick a Monday and you have to recommit and don't let enough time go by. And you can always, like, if you're injured, you can do the ultimate reset. You could do 2B mindset and talk about stretching. There's so many options now, like if you are sidelined for some reason and you can't do a program, you can do 2B mindset and just keep talking about that and talk why you can't really exercise. Or if you're marathon training, you can talk about PIO and how you're maybe doing a hybrid and some strength training and some stretching. And there's options for everyone. And so there's really no reason to not be on a journey. Okay, so that's always your default. Like, go back to self. Self-care is number one, because that's the how this business opened in the first place. That's the coffee. You can't have a coffee shop without the coffee. You can't have the fitness business without, and you don't have to be Miss Model or like at your goal weight by any means. You just have to be a work in progress, showing up. And I think that sometimes we just get kind of lost in that. So just pick a Monday, pick a program, rock some results. And even if it's not a physical transformation, talk about a habit that changed, or talk about a mindset shift, or there's so many different ways you can talk about it. Talk about that you didn't think you could do at home workouts because you thought they wouldn't be hard enough. There's so many different routes. That's what I love about this, is because it's just made my life so much simpler and easier because I can do it at home. And because I can talk about how much of a gym snob I was, and I would only go to super hard classes and I would leave if it was this sub I didn't like. And being an instructor myself, like, you're kind of picky, right, about who you go to and what you do. And I can talk about, like, I can get my own ass kicked at home, like be drenched in sweat. And if I didn't like that program, I can pick one that works for me. And like, maybe what you pick isn't going to be the same as me, but that's the beauty of it, is you can speak to what works for you and share what works for you. And that's what I love.
Agreed. Yes. Oh, I love it. I'm inspired. Guys, now that we have Bridget, I hope you don't mind because we didn't talk about this, but I have Bridget on. Do you care if people ask some questions?
Nope. Fire away.
I mean, she's here. She's all ears. What kind of questions do you have for her? I'm totally putting you and her on the spot.
I have a question, and of course, can you hear me?
Yeah?
Yes.
My husband's calling my name as soon as I click the unmute button, so hopefully I can.
Of course.
Right? My question is basically what you were just talking about too, is like being a fitness person who is in the gym, even still in the gym. I see from your Instagram stories, I usually watch you kind of.
Did you see me doing the burpees the other day?
What's that? Your burpees? Yes. Do you have any advice? I have several friends like from college who are personal trainers.
Yes.
Not all of them would I necessarily want to work with, but a few of them I'm like, oh, they would just be perfect for this business. They just got a heart, of giving. And
yes,
I've invited them to like the coaching opportunity, but of course they don't seem interested. So I guess maybe just kind of like pick, if you have any words of advice as how to share with people who are already those either gym goers or even more further than that, like personal trainers.
That's a great question. I feel like it's a little tricky with personal trainers because they like to provide their own workouts. So you have to kind of take a different avenue. You have to, or what I would suggest is try to get their brain wrapped around they're able to help more people. Right? They have a very select group of people that can come to them at the gym, and that's just their local people and the people who, go to that particular gym, and there's probably options of going other places in the area, and people who can afford a personal trainer. So that limits their audience of who they can help. And so you could really just lift them up and be like, you have such a big heart, and I know that you love helping people. Like, you could potentially help a lot more people. And it looks different because you don't have to provide the workouts, and you don't have to put together nutrition plans for everybody separately. Like, you just plug into a really awesome company that does all of that work for you, and you are just there to motivate them and coach them and like add in your expertise and kind of what geeks you out, you know. And they could have so much fun with that challenge group by like giving their people different stuff and creating it for them. But I feel like personal trainers will say like, but anyone could be a coach. I'm a trainer. I'm licensed. I have the education. You know, they might think that way because I've had that. And I would really just try to bring that, like, you can help more people. And like, why would you want to put together 2,500 different nutrition plans and online workouts and try to figure out how to charge people and how they're going to pay? Like, this is a system that's already up and running. You just plug into it. And it doesn't take that much time. They spend a lot of time. My other thing is that, like, I didn't want to work 40 hours in a gym. I truly didn't. And it's very corporate-y. They were giving me X amount an hour, but they were charging X amount. And so they were taking over 50% of what people were actually paying. And I wasn't getting paid that much. And I had to meet a quota. And I had to, you know, get X amount of clients a week, like on my own, walking around the gym floor. And I'm like, this is so not me, you know, like I didn't, So you might find that trainer that wants an out of that. Or you might find that trainer who wants to not have to put together the plans. And like, I'm kind of sick of doing that. And so that's why I love Beachbody workouts, is because I don't want to put together workouts for myself and like think about them. I just want Sean T to kick my butt and tell me what to do. Like, I don't want to think about it. So I feel like there's probably a lot of trainers that are out there that would like a lot of those things that I just addressed, but you're probably going to come across a few that are like, not for me, because I like to put my own stuff together and I don't, you know, there's a little bit of, not ego, that's not the right word, but do you know what I mean? Does that help? Okay. Helping more people, not having to put all the extra work into it, not having to be at the gym 40 hours. And it is kind of corporate-y. Being able to earn based on your own efforts, not having that like sales quota, you can do whatever you want. And being your own brand. I didn't want to be a YMCA brand. You know, after a while, I was just like, I want to be mine, but I don't want to open up a gym. That's way too much for me to handle. So like, this was perfect. Like, I can get this up and running and, you know, from home and limited time and make it my own. And so maybe just keep talking to them about those same things.
Well, one thing you talked about with you hitting Success Club 26 or whatever in the first month is you already had credibility when it came to health and fitness. So yeah, anybody can be a Beachbody coach, but if a trainer becomes a Beachbody coach, people are going to listen and be like, I want to do what they're telling me to do because they know what they're talking about, you know? So I think that the
credibility and the trust is there for sure.
The audience is, for lack of a better word, is already there for them.
And I didn't think, because you can't talk about this at the gym at all, so I never did. But I thought, gosh, no one really at the gym is going to join me. This is going to be totally separate, me finding other people. But I found that once they followed me on social media, like I would just say in classes, hey, follow me on, you know, here's my Instagram and Facebook like page for nutrition tips and clean eating. And I would always talk about like, I'm really into clean eating. And so they started to follow me. And then I would get these messages from people saying like, could you tell me a little bit about your challenge group? Because I'm struggling with nutrition, or I just can't stay consistent. Or so a lot of the gym goers will actually come around to this because they don't have that consistency. They don't have that somebody checking in on them. They don't have the nutrition. And so then my eyes were wide open. I was like, holy cow, like I have a huge audience right here in this building. You know, I'm not going to talk about it here, but I say, get a hold of me outside of this and we'll chat, you know? So there are ways at the gym, because I'm sure there's a lot of rules, and those personal trainers are probably scared of those rules. Like, oh, I can't do that. I can't approach clients. Well, yeah, you don't talk about it here. Or I would maybe just mention like, oh, I drink this, whatever, this not protein drink. We don't drink protein. I would maybe just mention that like I added a supplement to my routine that helps me with digestion and vitamins. And if they wanted more info, they should email me. If they ask me, like, do you take supplements or do you? And I would just be like, actually, there's one I really believe in. But email me and I can share what it is. But I would never say like, I actually sell it or, but yeah, I would just say, email me and I will share what I use and love. And I always say, like, I'm really picky about what I put into my body. So this is the only one that works for me. And they're like, ooh, I'm picky too. That always gets people like, oh, I should read up about that one then. If she's picky about what it must be good. Any other questions, guys?
Hey, Bridget.
Hey.
Question about Instagram. Lately, you've been, killing it, meeting a lot of people on Instagram. How are you connecting with them? Are you privately messaging them? I know you're doing ads, but I'm just curious to see what's been successful and how I think you said you changed your strategy a little bit. So I wanted to hear about that.
Yeah. I'm going to bring it up. So what I do is I really focus on couple of main things. I will always post 6 to 12 stories a day. And it's a good variety of like, there's always one with my energized, and that just shows me like committing every day. Here I am. She's at it again. Yep. Even on Saturdays. Yep. It's dark out. Here it is. I just, every day it's like, it's go time. It's go time. So that's always the way I start it. And then I usually do two or three tops during a workout, showing the moves. And I've just used them as like encouragement, like you can do hard things, or, like a tagline that's just motivating, not so much about like what I'm doing, but just a little bit of motivational quote with my workout move. And then it's just out and about during the day. So like Noelle said, I'm, personal training a couple times. So you'll get to just kind of see what my life looks like. I walk my kids to school every day. So I show that. A couple times it's what I eat. Couple of fun things, about me here and there. But then I watch to see who watches my Insta stories. And I will write down the names of people I see continually that aren't coaches that I don't know, and I'll reach out because I'm like, well, they are already watching me. They're already interested. So it doesn't feel like a cold invite because they're already there. They've already subscribed to the channel, right? And so I'll just say, hey, thanks so much for following my journey. It's super fun to be connected with you here. Sometimes I'll just ask the question, are you on a journey too? Or I'll look at their page and be like, wow, looks like you're a busy mom. Are you on a journey too? Or, hey, I help women get, work on themselves with, daily exercise and eating better. I have an online boot camp starting on November 27th. Would you like more info? And then, okay, sure. I'll take more info. And then I'll say, shoot me your email. And I just take it over to email. So then I can kind of keep track of them, and I'll just like let them know what the boot camp looks like, and kind of we'll chat back and forth. And a lot of people are a no, or ooh, I can't afford that right now, which you'll get with more of a cold market, but then they go into my pipeline. And every month when I run a new one, I will reach out to that same person and be like, hey, I know we chatted before. Like, what are your thoughts? It's on sale this month. And so I'm just kind of connecting with those people. I'll go to their pages. I'll comment. I'll like. So I think once you start to build up your page, you have more people starting to kind of watch your stories. Mm-hmm. And that's really a good way to kind of go right into like you don't have to spend a lot of time really connecting on Instagram. It's kind of like speed dating. It's kind of like you can just go right in and ask the question because they're already watching you, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like Facebook.
Well, that's what I'm thinking for my cold invites, because I have a lot of people watch me, obviously, that I know, but
Yeah.
um,
And like, how do you get new people to watch you? Like, I would say just really focus on, you know, like a lot of the tips are super quality pictures so that it's really, really good lighting. You're always in a different pose. So if you see mine, I have like, you know, it's rarely 2 workout pictures in a row. It's like a workout picture and then like a up close smiling. And then it's maybe like an outfit, not a workout outfit. And then maybe it's a, you know, I'll do some of like the trip ones here and there, like a professional one once in a while, but not all the time. But I just always make sure it's very different poses so that it's not just head, head, head. Because remember, it's a collage and it's like a magazine subscription. So if you come to my page, you'll be like, oh, I like her colors. I like her pictures. It looks cool. So kind of think about like what would attract you? Like, what do you like on Instagram? I love food pictures. So I do have some here and there. I love coffee art. I like fashion. So I kind of try to weave those things here and there. But like, you'll just see kind of a theme. Like I kind of have some oranges, some greens, like your tone. And then my hashtags are always just about that post of the day. And then I do maybe 3 or 4 of same ones that are like more me. Like it's always hashtag believe in yourself, hashtag empowering women. So I'm using like 3 or 4 of mine always, but then like 5 or 6 just about that topic that I posted about. So I feel like that helps. I use Cleaner and Captivate every night at bedtime. And that's how I grow new followers. So what I do is I go into Cleaner and I go into a page that I like, where I think people like me are going to be hanging out because they also like that page. And I will go copy their followers. Okay. And then I set it to go at night. So it does that every 90 seconds, follows a new one. And then I go in the next morning and see how many of those people follow me back. And then maybe once or twice a week, I do Cleaner and I unfollow all the people that didn't follow me back.
So, yeah, I have about 4 or 5 people that I follow, you know, that I like. And then, yes, and I do that.
Copy their followers. Just make sure it's not like don't do Rachel Hollis. Her page is going to be like all Beachbody coaches. Yeah, like do something that's going to be your people. And then, so that's how I've grown numbers. And more people that might be like me.
Yeah, because I like obviously being pregnant right now, I've been kind of using that as a guide, but it's a little different because I'm not like drinking Energize.
Yep.
And just, you know, doing things modified, of course, but, you know, still looking for people to like. But I think the big thing is the hashtags right now, and then the Captivate and Cleaner are the ones I'm working on. So.
I think it is. Yep. And what the content of your post is really like quality. Like, what do I want them to do and feel? Like, I took a couple examples of coaches I really look up to and just kind of thought, okay, what's their vibe? Like Julie Voris, I like her vibe. So I just kind of looked and I'm like, okay, I kind of get her. And then I don't like follow her. I don't go there a lot, but like, I'll just go to like her once in a while. Cause like you go to her page and she's got a vibe.
Yeah.
Try to figure out your vibe so that your page is just like different. It's not like all these different random themes all the time, but it's definitely got like a vibe, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And then interacting. I think, you know, once it's quality, you can't just leave it there, because I feel like, you know, sometimes I see who's following, but I'm not like doing the interaction. So I need to get better at it.
I could be better at that too. That's one thing that I don't make enough time for, is actually to like keep on it. But I'm like, okay, that's one thing that I need to kind of work on, is definitely reaching out to people more than I do. I'll be good for a while and then I kind of will put it on the back burner, and it's just something that kind of can just go. But
liking and commenting and watching their stories, I'm like, oh, I need to do better. But there's only so much time in the day.
Yep, absolutely. And then over time, you do really build up connections. Like, and people I've had to like, oh, I'm going to join you sometime, and just, you know, not right now. I'm like, okay. And then all the time we're just like chatting back and forth and giving each other like props on each other's pages. I'm like, it's just cool that you can just have other people out there that may never join you, but you're just like supporting each other, you know?
And I always ask questions in my stories, and people private message me all the time, like, oh my gosh, like, I love your baby bump or something. And then it's like, okay, it's already started. So then
That's
you can kind of, perfect convo starter.
And then the last thing too is just have a system too. Like, let's say have a coach sneak peek. Let's say you have a coach sneak peek where you have a place you can just throw out a bunch of invites. Then have like a little typed out thing that says like, all right, my webinar is going to be Sunday at 8 p.m. Take 2 steps. Like, first you're going to do this, and second you're going to add yourself to this Facebook group and let me know, when you're done, so that I know that you've done it. So then it's kind of like, they're like, ooh, this is like a process. Like, this is like applying for a job. Like, I'm actually, once you throw those invites and they say like, sure, I'd like to learn more. Okay, I'm hosting a webinar. So then people really, it's like a business.
Yeah.
It is a business.
It looks more professional. Yeah.
It is. Yep. So if you have a place that you can just say like, all right, I'm hosting a webinar with 4 other teammates, and have it like a little script so that you can say you have to do step 1 and step 2.
Well, I did Linktree, but then it's just like updating that,
I know.
That's the only thing I don't love about it is the updating, because I forget.
I know. I just ask for their emails, and then I send it all in email. And like, I build a pipeline and Streak. So I'll say all potential candidates or whatever. So then I can shoot out one email and it sends it to them individually.
Nice. Yep.
Really cool.
And that's the one through Beachbody. Or no, that's your personal.
Streak.
Oh, that's on Streak.
My personal email. Yep. And watch the Melanie Mitro video on Streak if you are like overwhelmed. It was always something that I wanted to learn, and I'm like, Streak is so overwhelming, I can't figure it out. I just Googled her video, and it was like a 7-minute video, and I got it.
Okay.
She does a good job.
Yeah. Is it free?
Yep.
Okay.
And that's my organizing system right now. It's really helpful. You can have like potential challengers, potential coaches, and just like have 2 separate buckets, and
nice.
Put notes last time you talked to them, and you can put a reminder to email you in a week to follow up. Yeah, it's really slick.
Okay, and it's free. I like that. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very cool. It's been on my to-do list to watch Melanie Metro's video this week, because both you and Megan recommended it.
Yes.
I haven't used Streak, so, but I need better
really helps. It does sound overwhelming, but once you kind of get in there, it's not. And like, you can make it how you want. If you don't want it super, super detailed, it doesn't have to be. That's what's cool.
That's cool.
You could literally just have like, interested, said no, said yes, signed up. Like, that's, you don't have to have like 25 crazy. Yeah.
All right. Bethany, let's hold each other to it. All right. Wow. Oh my gosh.
Thank you, guys. This was very fun.
It is not because you are not fascinating. It is because I am refreshing.
No, it's late.
It's day 2 and I'm tired. Thank you. This
You're
call
welcome.
was awesome. It was super valuable, both in just some action steps and also just some gut checks that I think everybody needs from time to time. So I really appreciate you taking the time out, because I know we all have so much we can learn from you.
You're welcome. Anytime.
So I will let you guys get some sleep, but Bridget, thank you so, so much.
You're welcome. Great to see all you guys. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye, guys.